Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is doing good today. Hi, for those of you new, hi, I'm Jeanette from Embroidery and Crafts, and welcome to Embroidery Happy Hour. I'm a little bit out of breath because I was running up and down the stairs because wanted to get a couple of things to bring up here. So, what are we going to be talking about tonight? Tonight, we're going to be talking about rush orders, and I thought it would be a really good topic to talk about because the holidays are right around around. I'm a little tongue tied here. The holidays are right around the corner, and pretty soon, especially those that are doing gifts and stuff like that, and those that are running an embroidery business, they're going to end up finding out that you're going to have a lot of people that are going to reach out to you last minute to put in orders. Okay. And I will tell you this, those are the ones that I hate the most, the rush orders. Okay. Because they really, um, they can really throw you off your game if you're not careful. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you guys about how I handle it. I have been doing this now for about a couple of years. And every year, without fail, there's a rush order, especially during the holidays. So I wanted to talk to you guys and share some of the things that I take into consideration when I am dealing with rush orders. So I thought maybe this would be pretty helpful for a lot of folks out there. So I got my notes because I was thinking about it and I was writing down a couple of things, and I wanted to share them with you. I have like 9 things that we need to think about on when handling these rush orders and stuff like that. So before we get into the topic, though, you guys know that I like to throw my announcements, and then after my announcements, we're gonna have a whole hour talk about the topic, okay? Because I like to be respectful of people's time. Because you guys have watched me a lot of times, you guys know I am a talker, and I can really talk to you. So let's see, what are the announcements? So we got the 2024 gift exchange. The registration has been closed, okay? So now we should be in the process of making those gifts to the person that you've been assigned to give a gift to. If you don't know who it is that you have been assigned to, okay, please reach out to me on Facebook and I can go ahead and I can get you the address. I know a couple of you guys have already reached out and I already gave you the info. But you guys should already be starting to make those gifts, included. Okay, I need to make some myself, and the gifts should be mailed out. If I remember correctly, I know it's in December, and I think it's the first week of December. It'll say it on the gift exchange. I will make sure to post it on our Facebook group. I think I have it here somewhere. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because I know I wrote down the dates. Gift exchange. Okay, mail out date is December 6th. Okay, so December 6th is time for everybody to have all their gifts mailed out. And then on December 20th is when we'll do our show and tell, where we get to show off all these awesome gifts and goodies that we've gotten. Okay. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. So that's always a lot of fun. Everyone always enjoys making something for someone and receiving something that someone made for them. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. So this is the 4th year we're doing it, and it's pretty cool. So that's all I have for the announcements. Okay, so let's just get right into the topic. All right. So rush orders. All right. Usually, what happens is the holidays kick in, right? Christmas Day is coming, it's creeping up. And before you know it, you're going to have people knocking on your door, or even if you sell online, there are going to be people that are going to be reaching out to you saying, hey, I need to get this last minute gift, right? And then before you know it, you have to come to the decision of whether you're going to be processing this rush order or not. Okay. Now, there are several things that you really need to think about when you start to process rush orders, because rush orders can make you a winner and it can also make you a loser when it comes to that as well. So you got to be careful when you take these orders. Okay. So I want to talk about some of the things that you really need to take consideration when you are, people approach you and they say, hey, I have this last minute item. I need you to make it for me. or locally, or even if someone reaches out to you online and says, I need something rushed. Okay. So, one of the things that I truly I've learned really well, okay, and this is stuff that I sometimes learned by error, is you really have to know what your schedule is, okay? What you have in hand in front of you that you already have to process, okay? You got to have a really good understanding of what your work day is. If you only have so much time, okay, you can't create any more time. There's only 24 hours in a day. It's not like you can create 25 or 26, right? So you really have to look at the workload that you have right now and ask yourself honestly, okay, not, oh, I think I can. You really have to honestly come out and say, can I process this order? Is it doable with the workload that I have right now? Can I actually squeeze that order in and get that order done when the customer wants to have it done? Okay. You really have to have a very good understanding of what your work schedule is. Now, there are going to be times when you look at that work schedule that you have and you're going to be like, okay, I can't process this. There is just too much that I have going on right now. Remember, you do have to sleep, you do have to eat, and you do have to allow yourself time to breathe. Okay. So remember, you are not an actual robot, you're a human being. So don't, overwhelm yourself. I did that one year, big mistake. I was miserable. Okay. And you got to remember, this is something that you love to do, and you love doing it because you want to do it. You don't want to turn this into something that all of a sudden now you hate it. Okay. So always be careful of your schedule. Make sure that you know what your workload is currently. And if you can take that and it's not going to really damage anything, and what I mean is it's not going to hurt your present orders, and it's not going to put you too much out of your, norm, then it's a good thing to take the order. Okay. However, though, if you find that the order is coming at a time where you really have no opening at all, okay, you really don't, all right, then you really have to be honest and have the courage to say no. And I reason why I say this is because you got to remember, embroidery is very different from a lot of different crafts that are out there. It takes time. And embroidery, the time is very different depending on what it is that people want. Sometimes they can have an embroidery design that can take you over an hour to stitch out. Sometimes it's an embroidery design that probably only takes you 5 minutes. Okay. So, usually in those cases, when it's something that's small, a lot of times you're going to have the time to be able to take those orders. But if somebody comes to me with some big design and it has thousands of stitches, I mean, I'm talking about a lot where it's going to be under my needle for over an hour, that's really going to hurt my schedule, because what happens is I already have orders that I have to get out by a particular time. And if I squeeze that in, that means there's one order that's not going to be able to make it underneath that needle. Okay. So, and it's going to push back a bunch of stuff. So, always think about that. Okay. Think about your schedule. Think about how you have things right now scheduled. And if you cannot put that particular order in it, then to me, my advice is always just say no. Okay. Because this is the thing also. Okay. The customers that provided you the orders that don't have a rush order, they put their stuff in there on time. Okay. So to me, and it's just me, I do not feel good about telling a customer, hey, I can't give it to you. I need you to wait another week because I want this rush order. It doesn't feel right. You got to remember too, what I'm saying? Customers, not only do they want you to embroider the items correctly, but they also have an expectation of the type of customer service that they receive from you. If they see that their orders are promised by a particular time and you don't really deliver by the time you promise, that can be a ding on you. Okay. It really can. Because then what can happen is when the customer needs the order to be processed again, wants another order, they might think twice because they're going to say, you know, Jeanette told me that she could do something within 2 days, and it took her a week. And now I have this other order and I really need it in like 2 days. And I don't know if she can keep to what she has said because she gives me a due date and then it's like she goes past it. So you got to remember that can kind of hurt you. Okay. So when you're taking a rush order and your schedule is really, really tight and you try to squeeze that in, those other orders kind of squeeze out, right? So next thing you know, if your those other orders are going to be past the date that you have promised those customers, I don't think that's a good look. I really, really don't. Because what happens is you're kind of like hurting those customers just for that one particular person. Okay. So it's something that you really got to think about if it's something that you really want to risk and you really want to do. I personally, I will take a rush order if I know it's not going to hurt my current order process. If I see that it is going to hurt, then the one that really should be taking the fall is actually the one with the rush out order. I'll just come out and I'll tell them, "Oh, you want it tomorrow?" No, I cannot do it tomorrow. I can probably have it for you in maybe 2 or 3 days, but that's as far as I can go. I cannot promise tomorrow. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really think about that, about how, if you can really timely process that rush order without hurting the other existing orders that you have. Okay. The other thing that, one of the things that I've learned, lessons learned. Okay. Clear, clear communication with your customers. Okay. Rush orders, I tell you, they're last minute, very last minute. Customers just come in, they say, I want this, 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 and they rush out. They just want it now. Okay. But the problem with this with embroidery is very custom work. So the communication has to be there. If I'm not going to sit down with you and have a clear understanding of what those expectations are and even know what it is that you need, then I'm not even going to take that rush order for the simple fact that that's when mistakes happen. Okay. They come to me and says, hey, just put the child's name on it. Bring me a blanket and say, put the child's name on it. They don't tell me the color thread that they want. They don't tell me the type of font that they want. We're not even discussing the size. Then I'm playing a guessing game. And at the same time, too, this is what happens. If you start to embroider it or you start to design it, you're very unsure of what the expectations are. And then what ends up happening is you end up on the phone trying to contact this customer. A lot of back and forth is happening between you and that customer. Well, guess what? That's wasting a lot of time. Okay. Because I don't want to learn what it is that you want when I have the item under the needle. I want to know exactly what it is that you need at the time you drop that item off. If we don't have any time to talk, I have no time to process that order. That's just really how I see it. So you got to make sure that when you take that order, when it's a rush order, you make sure you cover everything. Now, I'm not just also talking about the design, the font, whatever it is the customer wants. You got to make sure also that you are very, very clear on the time. Okay. If the customer is telling you, I need it by tomorrow, and you ask them, what is it you want by tomorrow? If they tell me, well, I just want a child's name, that I could do because I know that embroidering a person's name on a blanket really isn't going to take me a whole hour or something like that, right? I mean, it's just going to take me maybe at max, maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on the design and also depending on what it is that the person wants. It also kind of depends on the material as well. Sometimes you get these little blankets and they're very, very fluffy. And then you end up having to add knockdown stitches to the name. When you add knockdown stitches, guess what? That item is going to be under the machine more time. Okay, you just added more time to your item. So in other words, it's like it's not just a simple name anymore. Okay, now I have to add the knockdown stitches and then embroider the name. Now you want rhinestones? Okay, well, if after I embroider the name, you want me to add the rhinestones on a letter I or something like that, that takes more time. So that's why that conversation has to happen. Okay. A lot of times, some customers will come in here in such a rush that they really don't even want to talk. They just assume that I know everything they want. Well, when they do that, I just say no. Okay. And it's very important that you say no when that happens. And I'm going to tell you why also. Because what happens is you're guessing. Okay. So you're like, okay, I'm going to use this color thread because I think that this color thread looks best. But you don't know what looks best to you may not look best to the customer. Everybody has different tastes. Okay. I'll use the script, but maybe they wanted a block font. Okay. And they didn't want script. And and then I'll add the knockdown stitches, but you know what? You never had a conversation with them about knockdown stitches, right? The next thing you know, they come, they pick up the item, they don't like it. It's their blank, they don't like it. So guess what? They're not going to recommend you. They're going to have an issue with you, right? The other thing also, let's talk about the price, okay? Rush orders, I don't care what kind of order, all right? Rush, standard, whatever. The money's not there, the machine doesn't turn on. I don't take half payments or anything like that. I take full payments. Once the full payment is received, that's when your order is in the line, okay? Just because you dropped it off and you told me what you wanted, that doesn't mean squat to me, okay? I may have all your order and everything like that, but the machine's not turning on, okay? When I hear ching ching and I hear that the money's in the bank and the order is paid in full, that is when that order is on the assembly line. And then it's going to go right underneath the needle and it's going to get processed, okay? The same thing with rush orders. Don't drop something off and then tell me, yep, I'm sending you the payment. And then 2 or 3 hours, there's no payment. Because guess what? I don't care that it's a rush order. If the payment's not here, then it doesn't go under the needle. Bottom line, okay? Make sure that when you're taking that rush order also, that you are very, very clear when you're saying that to the customer. And let them know, if you need this by tomorrow, the payment has to come within the hour. If if you don't pay me, it doesn't go under the needle, and I have to receive the payment by a specific time because this is the time that I only have, the only time slot I have available to process your order. Okay? If you miss that, there's no order. You have to come pick up your blank, maybe take it somewhere else. If they get mad, let them get mad. I mean, they can go somewhere else. I mean, that's just how I see it. I am not going to process orders without the payments. I don't even do it with regular orders. Okay. I really don't. There's just too much issues that can happen. Okay. People can forget to pay. People can give you half and then say, oh, there's misunderstanding about how much things cost. Okay. I always send an invoice. The invoice breaks down the whole service and the total price of how much everything is going to cost. Make things simple for you guys. I understand that we like to be accommodating to customers, but at the end of the day, I look at it as this is very labor intensive. Okay. It is true that we're not the ones that are actually stitching everything with our hands, but we have to make sure that we're running the business nice and smooth. We have to make sure that, we have the designs right. We have to make sure we're hooping our items well. We have to make sure we're using the right stabilizer, that we're using the right weight of thread, we're using the right needles. There's a lot of things that are involved when you're processing these orders, the packaging and everything like that. I mean, there's just so much. Try to make it that it's easy for you. If you see that something is going to be too complicated for you, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't take the rush order. It's not worth it. Because what ends up happening is you're going to end up getting yourself all flustered. You can make mistakes and you just don't want to deal with it. Okay. You don't need the stress. You really don't. Trust me, I've been there and I tell you, it is not fun. Okay. It really, really isn't. The other thing that I learned the hard way, you got to make sure that you're checking your supplies. The last thing you want is to take a rush order, and then you got all the expectations and everything down packed. They sent you the money, and then you go to embroider and you find out that the color thread you don't have enough of, that, or you don't have enough of the stabilizer that you need and stuff like that. So make sure that before you take an order, okay, that you have the supplies required for that rush order. Remember, it's a rush order. So it's not like the person can, you can tell the person, oh, ran out of stabilizer. But don't worry, I got it on order and it'll be here in 4 days. That's not going to fly because remember, it's rush. So that means they need it like right away. All right. So they don't have that luxury, that time for Amazon to deliver new stabilizer or for you to get that color thread that they wanted. Okay. So when you are gathering the requirements from the customer in order for you to, take that order, make sure that you have the supplies required to process that whole order. All right. Now, the other thing is, this is number 5. You got to make sure that when you take that order, and I know it's a rush order, okay, because we're talking rush, this is not the time for you, seriously, and I'm serious about this, okay? This isn't the time for you to explore. If what they are asking is not something that you are experienced in doing, okay, that you're not sure about, and I am talking about, let's say they want you, they bring a silk robe, okay, or a satin robe. It's a type of material that you've never embroidered on before. It's a rush order. This is not the time for you to try it out and see if you can do it. This isn't the opportunity for you to do that. Don't do that. I am telling you, don't do it. You know why? Because if something goes wrong, it can be very problematic. Okay? You got to remember that you got to remember that you are the expert. Okay? You know what you know what you know. You know what you have done, okay? You know that you know how to do the sweatshirts real good. You have done beanies real good. You have done the hats real good. But sometimes these rush orders, they can come up to you with some stuff and you're like, ooh, I've never done that type of material before, okay? Don't explore, okay? I'm serious because you got a whole line of other customers behind this person, okay? And you got to do their orders. The last thing you want is to take an order and you just messed it up. Because if once you mess up that order, what ends up happening is that then you're like, great. So you're going to be the pissed off mood. You're going to end up pissing off that customer. And you know for a fact that, you're going to listen to this. You're probably going to hear me in your head and go, you know what? Jeanette did say this is not the time to be trying out new crap. And here I did try out my luck. And now look what happened. Okay. So don't, if it's something that you have never done before, okay, you're not sure of, okay, don't take the order. Don't. That's not the time to do it, okay? Wait, you just tell, those are things that you do when you don't have all these orders coming at you left and right. Now, holidays is very, very busy. It's very, very busy. Even for people that don't sell embroidery, okay? They're busy because they're embroidery gifts for their friends. And, it's like, then all of a sudden you'll have a friend that says, can you do this for me? And it's not that you want to say no, but at the same time, you got all this other stuff you got to get done. When you have new stuff that comes to you, you want to be able to be relaxed. You want to be able to have the time to do your homework and know and research and see what's the proper stabilizer, what's the proper needle size, what's the proper weight of thread, What speed should I be running the machine on? Okay, because remember, I have told you guys in the past, just because your embroidery machine does go super fast, sometimes that doesn't mean you just hit the top speed and let it run. There's going to be designs where there might be portions in that embroidery design that maybe it's best for you to slow down that machine. Okay, so that's not the time for you to really try to figure anything out. Okay, if you get a rush order and it's something that you've done 100 times, like, it's like, take it. It's no sweat. There's no homework to do. You know what you need to do. But if you got something that's new that you've never done before, that is not the time for you to say, gee, let me try it out and learn. Nope, don't do it. Okay. I've seen people do that. And this is the other thing too. You want to be able to process whatever order, whether it's rush or an ordinary order. You always want top quality work to come out of your shop. Okay. Always. Because the moment that something leaves your shop that it's not top quality, that it's mediocre or whatever, there goes your reputation. I'm serious about that, guys. All it takes is one. All it takes is one order, okay? And your reputation can go right down the toilet, okay? So you always want to make sure that your embroidery and your work is top notch. It represents you. It represents your brand. It represents your business, your skill set, and everything, okay? So that is not the time for you to be trying out new stuff, okay? Seriously. And the other thing is, if you are taking an order and it's something that you've done in the past, but it is a little bit on the complicated side, but you don't have the time necessary to give that order the care it needs so that it can be top notch, don't take it. Don't take it. Okay? Never, never, never do half stuff. You know what I mean? Half, baked stuff. Okay? Always make sure the quality of your work is 100 all the way. You want the customers to come look at the items, and you want to hear them say, wow, this is beautiful. This is what I wanted. Thank you. That's what you want. That is what you want. Okay. You don't want them to come and go, oh, you know what I'm saying? That's not what you want, because it can really, really hurt you. It really can. Okay. Now, what is the other one? Okay. Oh, I already said. Okay. Yep. Okay. So, all right. This is number 7. Okay. And I'm gonna do 1, 2, 6 real quick, because sometimes when I talk, I kind of blend in the different considerations. So I'm gonna tell you what I have in my book. Okay. I have number 1. Make sure you have a good understanding of what your current work schedule is. Okay. Number 2 is making sure that you have excellent, clear communications with the customer. You know what the order is, you understand their expectations, and you're good to go. And I'm talking about not just the design, the colors, and everything they want in the order. I'm also talking about having that conversation about payment and when payment is expected. And I am telling you, do not start any work without a full payment. I have heard people talk about, taking half payments. I don't do that. I don't do that. I've heard the stories of people coming and picking up their stuff and saying, "Oh, I already paid half." I think that no, don't do it. I'm telling you from experience. I mean, you guys can do what you want, but I know one thing: want ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Okay, if I don't have the full number, the machine doesn't turn on. Okay, all right. Number 3 was check your supplies, okay? Because you want to prevent the work stoppage, all right? The last thing you want is to think you're going to start an order, and the next thing you know, you don't have the supplies necessary for that rush order. That can hurt you, okay? Now, number 4, You got to make sure before you take that order that you have a good understanding of what that rush order could do, what kind of effect it's going to do to the current orders you have right now that you're working on. Is it going to delay the orders for your current customers? All right. So you got to think about that. Okay. Just don't think about, hey, it's more money. Let me just take it. Not, it's one of the things that I tell some of my girlfriends. Not all money is good money. Okay. Not all money is good money. There is such a thing as bad money. Okay. So make sure I understand that more orders, the more money. And I got that. Okay. I got that because that's what you run a business for, right? To make money. Nobody runs it to lose money. But not all money is good. If you're gonna take that extra money and then ruin it for all the others, it's not worth it. Okay. So make sure you have a good understanding of what that rush order that you're accepting, how it's going to affect the current orders that you have already in the assembly line to get done. All right. The other thing is make sure that you can produce the quality work. That's number 5. Make sure that you can produce quality work. This is not the time to explore and try something new because it can hurt you. It can hurt your reputation. That's the last thing you want. Okay. And not only that, when you're trying something new, that takes more time. All right. And if you don't have the time to invest in that at that moment, that's not the time to do it. And trust me, it really isn't. That's not. All right. So number 6, if you're not sure how you're going to be able to handle the order, okay, if they come to you and you're like, oh God, I don't know if I have the time. I don't know if if I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you really don't know. You really don't know your schedule. All you know is right now you're full. Your whole day is full. And you're struggling just trying to get your regular orders done. And you don't even have a clue on how you're even going to fit it in your schedule or anything like that and how you're going to handle it. Don't take it. Don't do it. And because you know what? You know what's is equally bad for your business if you do bad embroidery just as well. What can really mess you up as well is when you take an order and you tell the customer that I can have something for you by a certain time. And even if you take a rush order and then you tell a customer, don't worry, it's not a problem. I got you. I know what you want. I will have it for you tomorrow. And then you can't produce it. Not good. It's not a good look. Okay. You want to be known not only for the quality of the type of work that you do, but you also want to be known as someone who is great to work with and someone who is reliable in meeting deadlines. That is like so super important. Okay. A lot of times, what I do with my customers is they'll give me something and I'll look at it. In my head, I know I can have a 1-day turnaround. I know I can. But a lot of times, what I do is I'll tell the customer 2 days. Okay. I add that extra day. There's a reason for this madness of asking, of putting that extra day. First of all, something might happen at home. Fred may come out and say, you know what, Jeanette, I want to take you out tonight. Let's go to have dinner. Well, guess what? You know what Jeanette's going to do? She's going to turn off all her machines. She's going to go out with her hubby and have a good time. That's what I'm going to do because I'm going to be like, oh, he wants to go out to dinner. Let's go out to dinner. Okay. So guess what? I may not be able to embroider it that night because I want to go out with my hubby. Or Carlito may come out and surprise me and say, hey, Ma, I want to hang out with you. Can we do movie night? We sure can. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's gonna happen. Bello could get sick, and next thing you know, I'm at the vet, or Bello wants to play ball, and I gotta walk him and stuff like that. You have your schedule, right? You have your schedule, And sometimes I do know, I can look at something because I've done this now long enough where someone can give me something and I look at it and I know right off the bat, oh, I can get that done in a half hour. I can get that done in an hour. However, though, sometimes something can happen, right? And then I may need an extra day or two. So what I'll do is I'll tell the customers 2 days. At the same time, what I like about doing that is that it doesn't put the pressure on me. I don't feel rushed. I don't feel like I got to do it now. Okay. If I have the time, I'm like, okay, let me throw it under the machine and let me get it done. And let's say I have it done in 3 or 4 hours. I will text the customer and say, hey, I know I told you 2 days, but I was able to just get it done right now. Just take your time. You don't have to come pick it up right now, but I just want you to know it's done and it's ready. Just text me whenever you want to come pick it up so I can make sure I'm home and you can pick up your item. And next thing you know, what I get a text back is go, wow, that was fast. Well, you know what? I'm going to be going to the store early tomorrow. Is it okay if I drop by? Not a problem. And they don't have to wait the 2 days. Or they'll come out and say, oh my God, well, I'm going to go visit my friend this evening. She lives right around the corner from you. Can I come pick it up now? Sure. You know what I'm saying? And it looks good. It looks good. Okay. It's like you're over delivering. All right. But what would look bad if you come to me and you say, hey, can you embroider these polo shirts for me? I have an event. It's on Saturday and it's 5 shirts. And then I look at it and I go, oh, well, 5 shirts, I know I can pull it in a day. But I'll come out and say, yeah, I can have it by Saturday. And then guess what? Friday night, I'm still working on it. And then the customer's sweating, thinking, oh shoot, is she gonna get the shirts done on time? You know what I'm saying? You want to avoid that kind of stuff, all right? So make sure that when you are taking the order, that you can handle it, okay? And you have the time available for it and stuff like that, okay? Because if you don't, that can turn into a bad order, and that bad order can really mess up the reputation of your business. That's for sure. Now, the other thing, which is now I'm up to number 7, okay? The other thing is I see some people do this. I don't do it, but I've read a couple of articles where a lot of businesses do this, and they talk about adding a rush fee to orders. Some people, do kind of have that as a practice. And a lot of times there's certain conditions that they put on before, putting a rush fee. For example, what happens is sometimes a business will come out and say, well, if you want something done within 2 hours, then there's a rush fee involved, right? Because you're talking about, I have to drop everything and I got to focus on you. And then everybody else gets on the back burner. So if you want to get in front of the line, it's going to cost you. Okay. Now there's 2 ways that people usually calculate a rush fee. Two ways. One is a flat fee. Sometimes some businesses will advertise and they'll say we do take rush orders, but there's a flat fee. And then they say this is how much it is just for us to accept the order. Okay, if we accept it. All right, because trust me, even businesses that accept rush orders, they have to make sure they have the time available to accept it as well. So I'm sure that you'll have to go to them and they'll look at what it is that you need, and then they have to determine if that's something that they can process for you in the time that you want it. But then what ends up happening is they'll say, okay, we can do that, but it's a $30 or $40, whatever number rush fee. Okay. Another way that they calculate rush fees is a certain percentage, right? And then what they do is they say there is a 5% upcharge on the purchase price of the order, okay, of the total of the order. So sometimes people will say there's a 10% or 20% upcharge. So if you have something that's like $20, like I would charge $20 for an embroidery, then it would be $20 plus an extra 20%. The 20% is the rush fee. Okay, some people do it like that. Now, from what I've read, a lot of people prefer the percentage fee, the rate of the doing a rush rate by percentage versus doing the flat. And it makes a lot of sense, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Because sometimes what happens is not every order is equal, okay? Just like when you do custom orders. If you're doing orders where it's like, it's pretty standard, it's stuff that you do all the time, right? Like, like let's say you do like a mama shirt or something like that, right? And somebody just wants a mama shirt, you just don't have them in stock, you just got to make them fresh, whatever. You already know how long it's going to take to be under the needle and all that kind of stuff. So you kind of know that you know maybe a $20 rush fee would be enough or something like that, right? But what happens is with custom embroidery, every order that you take is very different because it depends on the type of embroidery that they need. Some blanks are easy to embroider on than others. Some require more time to hoop. Okay. Sometimes you can have a blanket that requires, a design that requires knockdown stitches. Sometimes you have designs that are very, very detailed, have a lot of stitches in there, which of course means that it takes longer to be under the needle. Okay. So for those orders, right? Of course, the prices are going to be very different, all right? Because you charge by the hour. Some people, have different types of pricing structures that they use, right? Different methods. But the thing is, no two orders are actually going to be the same, right? They're not going to cost the same. Depending on the customization, that's going to determine the price that you charge on that order. So what ends up happening is because the order, and you may have a small order, right? And it doesn't cost much. You added 20%, so it ain't that high. However, though, if you have a very complex order, okay, it's going to take you longer for you to actually, fill that order. So, of course, you're going to charge more for that order and you're going to add an additional 20% off of whatever it is that you charge. So they're going to pay more, okay? Now, knowing this up front, okay, if you choose to do a rush order fee, this is something that I want to let you guys, be aware of, okay? Which kind of goes a little bit back with something that I've said before. If someone's coming to you for embroidery work and it's a rush order, and then you go ahead and you're going to implement a rush order fee, whether it's flat or whether you use the percentage method, doesn't matter. That person is going to be paying more, okay? Which to me kind of makes sense because you are coming to me and you're asking me to do something now, okay? You're not asking me, hey, can you take my order and put me on the schedule? That means my little appointment book where I schedule everybody's orders, that's kind of out the window because now you're skipping the line, right? So you got to pay for that. That customer, already is going to feel some kind of way, which honestly, to me, I don't feel they should because you are getting the service that you want, right? You're asking for a rush order, right? So you should pay for the rush order. But the thing is, they're going to start looking at it as, all right, I'm paying for this embroidery service, plus I'm paid for a rush fee. When the customer comes to pick up that product, you better be on your A game. It better come out beautiful, okay? You do not want that customer to come and the embroidery did not come out good. It looks like crap. You didn't use the right needle. You didn't use the right stabilizer. That is not the time for you not to be showing off your expertise. that you don't fall asleep at the needle. Okay, that's the time you're supposed to be up, awake, ready, alert, and doing your best. Okay, because their expectations when they come to pick up the item is supposed to be that they want beautiful work. So you better make sure you're on your A game. That is for sure. That's why I say, if you're not sure about how you to embroider something and stuff like that, don't take the order, because it's really going to be super bad if they ended up paying a rush fee and then the work they got was not quality. All right. So that is one thing that you really, really need to think about. Okay. Number 8, optimizing your processes. Okay. When you have a lot of orders that are coming in, and I learned this, okay, you have to make sure that you have your room organized in such a way that when you're making your items, you have a very good flow going. Okay. When you end up with rush orders, that can disrupt the flow a bit. Okay. Because what happens is you already, you're organized. You have your stuff aligned. All right. I'll give you an example. This is how I work. I get up in the morning, and and this is usually the holidays and stuff, because that's when things are really crazy for me. Okay, and they're already starting to get that way, because I already get a couple. I've been getting a couple orders a day already. Okay, local and online. So what I usually do is I sit down with my appointment book. Okay, and I print out all my orders that I've gotten online, and I also take all the orders that I have locally, and I schedule it for the day. Okay. And I always make sure that my space in here is organized. I know where everything is all the time. Everything has its place. So there is no reason for me to be looking for scissors. There is no reason for me to be looking for the threads. There is no reason for me to be looking for anything. Okay, my stabilizers or anything. Everything has its place. So I already have a smooth process of how I take my blanks, hoop them, take them to the machine, work on my computer. I have everything organized. Also, I organize my orders. So I know what orders I'm going to work first and which ones I'm going to work last. I know which ones have to get done by a particular time. All of them have a due time. Okay. So I make sure that they're in order. So that way I don't miss any of my due dates. Okay. The thing is, when a rush order comes in, all right, since I already have my day already laid out, and I already know what designs I'm going to work on and stuff like that. And if I have someone that comes midday, then it can be a problem, you know. I mean, not a real problem, but I do have to step back and look at how my process is going that day and see how I can fit in the schedule and everything. Okay. So you want to make sure that your whole everything is organized. Your room, because this is the thing, like I was saying before, you want to make sure that you have the supplies that you need in order to process the orders, not just the orders that you have right now, but also the rush orders that come in, because you can have somebody that walks through the door and may want a pretty funky color. Okay, a little color that you're like, I don't think I got that color, or a certain purple, because you got to remember, in embroidery, you can't just come up to me and tell me, oh, I want red. Well, let me tell you something. You know how many shades of red are out there? How many shades of purple and yellow and green? You can't just come out and say, oh, I want that, No, there is a lot of different shades. So, it's just something that you just have to be very, very, very organized. Okay. If you're not, what's going to happen is you're going to make mistakes, you're going to make errors, and I've done them. Trust me, I've done them. You're not just embroidering too. You're shipping stuff out. You got to package items, because I package them even for orders that I'm doing locally. I package. Okay, I always have them nicely packaged and put them in the little shopping bags and all that kind of stuff. But you want to make sure that everything that you work on is neat. You want your process to go smoothly, because when you do a lot of back and forward, it can be a mess. Okay, so the other thing, this is number 9. Okay, this is something that I kind of mentioned before, but I just really want to emphasize this one, because this is something that a lot of people overlook. Okay, consider the embroidery design of that rush order. Okay, I mentioned this before. Sometimes they're simple, sometimes they're complicated. Simple is really the best. Those are the easy ones. You just want a name? Not a problem. We just got to pick a font and then tell me the size, and I'm good to go. You have a logo that you need to get digitized. We're talking a little bit complication right now. Okay, this is getting a little complicated now, because this is how I usually work on custom orders, and I tell people this all the time. When it comes to custom orders, there's certain things, unless I already have the design that you want on order, that I've already done it in the past. Okay, because I got customer designs that I had digitized, and then they'll come with a rush order and they'll say, I need sweatshirts done by tonight. I already got your logo. I already got it. I already had it digitized. I already got plenty of the thread. I already test stitched that design. Not a problem. I already know how long it's going to take. Done it. Okay. I just take the blanks, process them. If I have that time, I'll process them. If not, I'll tell them, hey, that logo is very detailed. It takes 30 minutes just to do one shirt, and I got all these other orders. I don't have the time to process that. You know what I'm saying? If this is not the time for someone brand new to come to you and say, I want 30 shirts and I need them done in 3 days, and this is my logo. It's not going to fly. That's right there. I just tell them, nope, it ain't going to happen. And several reasons. And then I talk about the process. I have to get that logo digitized. Not only do I have to get it digitized, the digitizer needs time to digitize it. Okay. So I can't just throw it to Bibliophile and say, hey, I need this in 10 minutes. It doesn't work like that. I'm not their only customer. They got other customers too. You know what I'm saying? So they have, that's a whole other process. Okay. That takes time. Not only that, when I get the file back from the digitizer, guess what I have to do? I gotta test it. That takes time. If I test it and it looks great, not a problem. I can proceed. But if I test it and there's an issue with the design, I have to go back and forth with the digitizer to try to get this design fixed. That takes time. Okay, so there's no way I'm going to do a rush order with that. No way. Okay, so rush order, simple, not a problem. Rush order, complicated, that requires digitizing and all that kind of stuff. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna work like that. Nope, nope, nope. I need to focus on these other orders that I know I can get done in a timely manner. Got customers that are already paid in full. All right, you're gonna have to come to me at a later time, or if you want, I could work with it piece by piece. But know that you're not going to get that in 1 or 2 days. It's just not going to happen. Okay. So make sure that you are considering, when people come to you with these rush orders and stuff, that you are aware of what they're asking you to do. Okay. Not every embroidery design is equal. That's why a lot of times when people say, hey, I see other people charge this, I'm going to charge that. That's what people, a lot of times, they mess up with the prices. Okay. That is one of the hardest things about embroidery is price. Okay. How to price your items. There's just so many different ways that you can look at it and decide how you want to price it. But one of the things that I really find that is a mistake that a lot of people make is that they don't take the time to really do the homework on how they want to price things, because not everything is equal. Okay. when you have one type of logo and you stitch it out, and then you have another logo and you stitch that out, both logos are not the same. Okay, they have different color threads. One logo can be completely 40 weight thread. Another logo can be one that I have to use 40 weight plus 60. Okay, which means that I have to use two different size needles. Also, I could have one logo where I can just run the machine at top speed, and not a problem. But then I can have another design that comes to me, and guess what? In that design, I could do top speed, but in certain areas in that design, I got to slow down that machine. And when I slow down that machine, that means it takes more time to embroider. In some designs, I could only use one, I could use one stabilizer. In some designs, I got to use two sheets. Not everything's the same. Okay, not everything's the same, and because it's not the same, it should cost the same. You shouldn't be pricing stuff the same. Okay, everything should be priced differently. Okay, so you really need to think about that. Okay, so those are the 9 things that I thought about when I was thinking about rush orders. Okay, and I thought about it because now my workload is starting to grow, and it's starting to get a little heavy, and I'm like, here we go. And I've already have people locally that have been reaching out to me, and they're asking me the question of, hey, I want to get some embroidery work done for the holidays. What's the latest I can bring it to you? And I tell them the ideal time is not to bring it to me at Christmas Eve, which I'm gonna tell you, people have done that. People have done that. They have said, because this is what happens, right? Sometimes it's like they got all the gifts for everybody, right? But then someone in their family will say, "Hey, I'm coming home for Christmas, but I'm bringing a guest." And then what ends up happening is they just realize the last minute that they're gonna have another guest at the house, right? So they're like, "Oh shoot, I gotta get something for this person because I don't want them to be in the house and everybody's opening gifts and no, there's nothing there for them, right?" So I get a lot of those, like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that, my son was gonna bring someone, or my daughter was gonna bring someone, or unexpected guests, right?" And but in those situations, usually what when they call me and they say I got an unexpected guest, and I don't know what to do, this is usually, this is always a hit. Okay, it's always a hit with my customers, and I always give them the same advice: go to Costco, go to JC Penney's, buy one of those throw blankets, find out what their initials are, and I'll get it done for you. Okay, easy gift. Easy gift, quick to embroider, and believe me, the guests will be like, wow, because it's personalized for them. And they were like a surprise guest, right? And you were able to pull that off. I mean, it makes a great last minute gift. So if you have customers that come to you and say, oh my God, I got somebody, I don't know what the heck to do, whatever, just, it's always a hit. I always tell them, go to Target, go to Walmart, go to JC Penney, go to Costco, go to BJ's, Sam's Club, whatever. Buy one of those twin size throw blankets, okay? Find out what their initials are and do a monogram. Very easy. Very easy, simple, very inexpensive as well. Because you can get those throw blankets at very, very cheap. I mean, they don't cost that much. And then all you have to do is charge them for the embroidery. And what are we talking about? The max 3 letters. And sometimes some people don't have a middle initial. Like I don't have a middle initial. So sometimes it could be 2 letters. You know what I'm saying? And you can really embroider that very, very quickly. Those are very easy to take as rush orders and embroider them really quick, quickly, and and you can tell them it's an extra $10. You know, and I don't even do a rush hour. I mean, I just tell them, 20 bucks, $25, something like that. It depends on the size too. 'Cause if you want it to be big, then yeah, you're gonna. I'm upping the price because that means I'm using more thread, and it's gonna take longer to embroider into the machine and stuff like that. But I always tell them that. I always tell them just get a nice little plush blanket, stuff like that. And we'll stick it underneath the machine and get their initials. Go find out what their initials are, and put it under the tree. When they open it up and they see a blanket with their initials on it, it's like, wow. It's always a win. Always a win. Quick, easy gift. It's easy for the customer, and it's also easy for you to embroider as well. So those are the nine. Wow, look at that. 9 o'clock. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. It only took me like what? How long have I been doing embroidery happy hour now? If I'm going, think I'm going on my. I think I've been doing this for 2 years, something like that. Two or 3 years. Maybe I've been doing it for 3. Wow. I gotta see. I wonder what was my very first embroidery happy hour. I bet you I probably only had 2 people in the chat when I did that. Or I was probably talking to myself. I'm gonna, you know what, for fun this weekend, I'm just gonna look it up. I'm gonna go on the channel. I'm gonna see what was my very first embroidery happy hour and see how many people I had on there. That would be really cool to find out. So, guys, I hope you liked today's topic. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. As always, I'm always trying to figure out what is valuable information that I can share with you guys. I always want to share that kind of stuff. So I am going to go to the chat like always and say hi to everybody, because now the time where I like to chit chat and share, my thoughts. And then also, just want to let you guys know. Also, guess what? Today I went to Michael's, and it was like 30% off. As you guys know, I got a hat heat press. Haven't had a chance to start it, and I got Caesar Easy Puff. Okay, so I got plans for this baby, and I am going to be playing around with this under my embroidery machine. I got some ideas. I am going to be videotaping it, and I am really going to be videotaping a lot this week because Monday's a holiday. Happy Veterans Day for all the veterans out there. So I am off on Monday, and I also took off Tuesday and Wednesday from work. So I have several days where I can really relax and stay home and videotape trying new techniques that I have been wanting to try. Okay, because I've been wanting to try this with embroidery. So this is going to be fun. I got a project in mind, and I want to see how it comes out and make sure I videotape that. And also, I want to finish my girlfriend's baby blanket. So for you guys that don't know, I had bought these patches, right? And I tried to sew my girlfriend a baby blanket. I tried to do it live. A needle broke. I couldn't find the other half of the needle. So I said, fine, I have to start from scratch. I bought new patches. And one of the things that's going through my mind is I feel like sometimes as you do things over and over and over and over again, you end up getting better and better. I actually like these better than the ones that I actually purchased at the quilt show. I was able to find the patches very similar to what I had on Etsy, and I resewed them. And here we go. And I really, really like this one. I like the way it came out. It looks so super cute. I love it. And I was like so happy. So this weekend, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it off. And now I got the lid all over me. There we go. Okay, so I had to buy more of the backing. Okay, so I have this. This is going to be the backing for that. And I'm going to actually finish this blanket this weekend. I'm going to finish it and stuff. So I'm really happy. And this time, I'm not going to do it live because, that's when I broke the needle and stuff like that. I will put the camera and I have um put the camera and I filmed how I did this and stuff like that. So I will, once I sew it, I'll continue to film how I'm putting this together, and I'll do a little quick video so you guys can see how it all comes out and everything. But I am like super happy and I want to get this finished this weekend. So I'm pretty excited about having all these days off. I have shut off my work laptop. I am not, I told myself, Jeanette, because even last night I was working, trying to get some stuff accomplished. But I told myself, you know what, Jeanette, turn it off. So I have turned off the work laptop. It is completely off. I am not turning it on. And I'm just going to enjoy my time in my sewing room, fill my orders, and do the things that I have been wanting to do that I haven't had the chance or the opportunity to do that. So I am pretty excited about having these next couple of days off so I can focus on me doing what I want to do. So I'm pretty super excited. And another thing too, I was talking with Miss Banks, right? And I want to show you guys what I got. She told me about these, okay? She told me about these things. I was talking with Miss Banks, and I got to tell you, boy, me and Miss Banks were on the phone for like 5 hours. I was like, oh my God. We were playing around, just looking, and she told me about these quilt blocks that she got. I like them so much. I had to get a set, and when she showed them to me, and of course, my sister's a quilter, right? I got a set of two for me. I got her a set of three because I just had to get it because I was like, because Nancy is really heavy into quilting. She loves quilting. I mean, that's her thing. I mean, that really is. I'm more of an embroiderer, but I ain't gonna lie. When I started sewing this, I could see, I started to really see like what it is that people really love about the quilting. It is really, I don't know, something calming about, putting your squares together and then just sewing them all together one by one and watching the whole thing come together. I mean, it really is satisfying, right? Now, of course, I just do the squares, right? My sister's a little more advanced. She really likes to do different designs and all that kind of stuff. I get easily confused, right? So when she does it, I'm just like, okay, it's like, I mean, but it always comes out great because she kind of knows that stuff. But I had to get this when Miss Banks got it. I said, you know what? Because now I am starting to get into the quilting a little bit myself. And now I'm like even thinking, I want to quilt myself my own bedspread. And then I was thinking maybe I could do a bedspread for my mom or something. And now I'm all like super duper. Now I got all this lint all over me from the Chanel. But now I'm like super excited about it. And knowing that I have these next couple of days off, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm just going to see what I can do and stuff like that. But I found these on Etsy. Miss Banks told me about it. And when she showed it to me, she was like cracking up because I said, well, I got it in my cart right now. I said, I got to send a set over to Nancy because I know Nancy would love to have these. Because I wasn't sure she had them. I know she has gotten like, she got like the clapper. I know she's got the clapper, and I think she's gotten these things, but I wasn't sure she had a whole set. So I was like, you know what? There's not enough blocks for a quilter anyway. So if she already had it, I figured, well, fine. Now you got more. So, but she loves quilting. She's even doing I think she calls paper piecing, something like that. I really don't know what it is, but I mean, she likes to read, and I'm not much of a reader. I'm not, well, yes, I am. It depends what it is, okay? Because at my job, I read a lot of policies and all that kind of stuff and everything. But to me, I don't know. I love reading that stuff. It's what I love, right? And then, and I think that's why I'm so bad with sewing patterns and even in the hoop projects. There's a lot of reading and stuff. And even though I love embroidering and I like sewing and all that kind of stuff, seeing the designs and the instructions can sometimes really confuse me and throw me off, which is why I'm more of a visual learner. I kind of like watching videos and then watching people actually like cut the fabric and then like size it, and then I just you know uh you know follow along, right? But if I open up like a sewing pattern and then I look at it, because I tried, Nancy got me into buying sewing patterns. I had to stop because we would go to Joann's and they were like $1.99, right? So I'm over here thinking, oh, $1.99. So I'm buying all these sewing patterns. They're all in the drawer because as soon as I open them and I start reading it gets like complicated for me. I don't know if it's because of my learning disability or what, but it's very difficult for me to understand, right? And to grasp. And even when it came to doing it in the hoop project, when I did it with her, it's like I don't know. It kind of got screwed up. So I was just like, okay, so that's just not my it's not how I retain information and stuff. You know what I mean? But it's really weird because when it comes to reading laws, policies, guidance, and regulations and all that kind of stuff, I I just thrive off of that stuff, and I read it, I mean, word for word, and I understand it, but it's what I do for a living, so it's easy for me, you know what I mean? But when it comes to that for sewing, it's complicated. So I'm like, I think that's why I like embroidery so much, because embroidery is much more visual, and I don't know, with embroidery, I find that very, very simple. But when it comes to the in the hoops, it takes me a while to get it. It really does. It takes me a while to get it. I have to do it a couple of times and stuff like that. I'm more of a visual learner and stuff like that. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm excited about this whole week because it's supposed to be a nice, peaceful week. And hopefully, when the orders come in, my whole goal is to get up in the morning, fill those orders quickly. That way, I can just focus on what I want to do. And if during the day I get more orders, then I don't care. They'll get done the next day because I don't want it to interrupt my time. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I want to finish this blanket tomorrow for sure. I want to finish this blanket, and then after I finish this blanket, then I want to start working on these a certain project that I want to try to do with this. And I want to really start using the hat heat press that I have, and do some videos on that because I got it. I did an unboxing, but I haven't even turned the sucker on. You believe that? It hasn't even turned it on. I have, and I have some hats, so that way I can try it. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool, to try that. So I'm pretty excited about it and stuff. So yeah, so I am going to go down the chat. I want to say hi to you guys as always, because I love hanging out with you guys, and stuff. So I got the chat going on over here. And at this time, I'm actually talking to you guys through my iMac and not my MacBook. Because when I went to turn it on, I forgot to plug it in. So when I saw that I forgot to plug it in, it was in the red. So I said, okay, not a problem. I said, I'll just use the iMac. So it's not like I was going to carry you around today. Because that's why I like the MacBook. Because if I wanted to show you guys something, I could just unplug it and then you guys could walk with me and stuff. Or if I use the iMac, I can't carry the iMac. Even though the iMac, it's not like computers are pretty different. It's not like before. Before, remember how you used to have the box on the floor and then you would have a wire from the box all the way to your monitor. Now it's like the monitor is the whole computer and everything all in one. So it's pretty cool. Less space, right? So yeah. So so I'm pretty excited about this coming up weekend because I really want to be able to do a whole lot more videos and stuff like that, and and just do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty excited. Um, I see Marina finally. They're so cute. Finally getting the times right to start the lives. Aw, I'm glad you made it. And I see Tina. How are you? I see Sassy. Hey, Miss Miller. How are you? Hey Nancy, how you doing? She made it early. She sure did. Um, Danville, Virginia here. All right. I wonder if you're far from me because I'm in Haymarket and stuff. I've never heard of Danville before. Hey Jenny, how you doing? I see Marlene. I see Jackie, Jerry. How are you? Iris, how you doing? Hey Nancy from Tennessee, how you doing? I see BB Berlin. I see Ms. Baker. Hey Peggy. Hey Karen, how are you? Hey Robin, the quilting basket. I see Debbie. Hey Beth, how you doing? Pearl, Angela and Stitches. Let's see, Cindy, how are you? Let's see. Oh, got a question here. Oh, what do you think about the trending side seam design going on? Hey Iris, yes, I do see everybody's doing the bow on the side. I think it's cute. I think it is cute. Okay. At first, I was talking to Miss Banks about that when she called me. And at first I was thinking, is the side gonna run? But she goes, no, they're satin stitches. I said, you're right, they are. This is the thing though, okay, that I do think about. Okay. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. A lot of people are doing it on the shirts. The only thing is that I think about is you know, not everybody has the right curve, you know. So I'm thinking might make a little people look a little bigger. I don't know. It's not my thing. I think that that really looks cute for kids and adults. I mean, it's cute. It really is cute, you know. And this is the thing. When I saw that, I was thinking, you know, you guys can really expand that, not just the shirts. Okay. I was like, what else could you guys do that type of embroidery on? You know, I was thinking sweaters. I was thinking scarves. You know, put the bows on each on the side of each scarf. But then you have to look at the material of the scarf. So I don't know. You know, I'm gonna see if I can find a scarf and then we'll give it a shot and see. But everybody's into that, you know, that little bow on the side and stuff. And I think it is kind of cute. I really do. And stuff. And you know, it's perfect just in time for the holidays too. So, you know, another thing, because you mentioned Iris, the bow on the side, you know, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So now I'm like thinking when I saw that little trend going on with the bow on the side, I'm like thinking, I wonder is something similar to that can be done for Valentine's Day, because you know the heart has that little angle, right? But you know the bow kind of comes in, so you can cut the shirt inside. You have the satin stitches. So I guess with the heart you really can't because it's out. But I'm sure they could probably come up with maybe like a bow with a heart or something like that. So it's just little things that I was thinking about because to me I like the idea, and then I was like, wow. And now it's like I'm thinking, how could you expand on that? And stuff. It's a cute little trend. I think it is, and that's one of the things that I really do like about embroidery is that there's always something new that's coming around, you know. So I think that's like so cute. I saw you know from I think she used to be the crafty Puerto Rican. Now I gotta get used to it. She changed the name of her channel, which is now J JLC Creations. She did a video on doing the bow, and it came out really cute. It really did. I kind of liked it. But I don't think I would personally like wear it because I'm more of a plain person. Me, you know, it's kind of funny because I do. if you would ask Nancy, it's like she'll tell you. Jeanette's in a sweatshirt and sweatpants all the time. And I don't really do I'm very plain when it comes to certain, dress stuff, Um I'm not much into the makeup thing. I'll throw lipstick on or maybe a little bit of eyeliner, but I'm really a simple person. I really am. Um, and it's, for me to wear it, I would kind of be like, I wouldn't wear it, but I know a lot of people would, and they love that stuff. And it to me, it would make a great shirt for like if you go into a holiday party or something like that. So I could see that, you know what I mean? So yeah, but but it's a cute trend. I really do. I think it's really, really cute. Um, Oh, yep, and they are. Yes. I got a couple of free patterns for it. Another thing, Robin, if any of you guys um have an account with Creative Fabrica, okay? Go to Creative Fabrica. There are so many bows out there. And that's one of the things too. I saw a lot of people were selling the bow designs on Etsy. But the thing is, I'm like, why would I pay for the bow design when I can go to Creative Fabrica and I can get the bow design for free? Unless there's a particular design that you see that is not being offered for free that you like, that someone's selling it, right? But yeah, there are a lot of bold designs out there that are for free. You guys know me. I know how to save a buck, right? I'm always gonna go for the free stuff, you know. Um Marnie says, I'm working on an order for a neighbor. 9 t-shirts with business logo on the left chest of the you go, Marlene. They got the first order with all those I think it was 30 book bags, and now you got 9 shirts. Go, you go, girl. I'm so happy for you. I told you guys. And for you guys that say, I don't really run a business though, Jeanette, I am telling you, you probably will end up running a business by accident. Okay? It's not that you want to do it, but I think you're going to end up doing it. Because what happens is embroidery is not something that a lot of people do. It's really isn't. A lot of times people don't have the money to buy the machines and buy the equipment, the supplies and all that kind of stuff. So when someone knows that you can do the embroidery, that you have that skill set and you have the equipment and stuff, you could easily end up having people asking you to do it. And before you know it, you're going to end up getting more and more and more orders. And you're going to tell yourself, I did this for fun. I wasn't really doing this for a business, but it ended up being a little side business that now I have. You know what I'm saying? So, but Marlene, I am so happy for you. You got it going on now. Hey, Angela and Stitches, how you doing? Let's see. Oh, Nancy said I completed 2 knitted sets for Christmas and I'm working on converting a sweater now. You're talking about knitting. I saw a young girl that what she is doing, she's knitting pouches and they look so super cute. So Nancy, I'm going to reach out to you because I got a feeling you can do this. I got a feeling you can do this. Ah, there you go. Hey, JLC Crafts. I always think of Crafty Puerto Rican, but I will get you to your new name. I really will. How you doing? Hey Leslie, how are you? Hey Miss Fake, how are you? Oh, working on her side bows also. I guess everybody's doing that. Everybody's doing that. Oh my goodness. I haven't tried it yet. I have not done the side bow. Where is your supervisor tonight? Mello, they're asking about you. Come here, Papa. Come here. My supervisor is right here sleeping. You want to say hi? Let's see if I can put you down so you can say hi. Say hi. Did you say hi? Did you see everybody? Yeah. He's been lazy. Very, very, very lazy. And tomorrow, oh, I just remembered, tomorrow you go to the groomers. You do? Oh my goodness, you're gonna go to the spa. He's gonna go to the spa tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning. We gotta get up early. Gotta get up early so you can look gorgeous. Yeah, so I totally, I just remembered looking at you. I just remembered because you look a mess. You do. You do. So the supervisor was napping over there. Well, not really napping. He was just sitting over there, and stuff. And tomorrow we're gonna be sewing after I take you to the groomer. Yeah, you're gonna get all handsome. Yeah. Oh, he's too cute. I was thinking, I was telling Fred that I think Mello needs a brother. You want the dog? I don't think he does. I don't really don't. Do you want a brother? Should we get a puppy? Do you want a brother? Huh? Or do you want to be the only child? You want to be the only child? I think you do. I'm considering it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I really don't. If we do get another dog, it'll probably have to be after I retire for sure because I know Fred's not going to do a puppy thing. Because when you have a puppy, it's a lot of work because they go through the teething. When you first get them home, it's a new house. So, I had to sleep on the floor with him because it was like he was like, crying and all that. It's like, oh, because he was like, oh, weird house. They got to get adjusted and stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie. The first year I was like, but now we just love it, right? We just love it. And I don't know if maybe having a second dog will probably be a little easier because knowing him, he'll probably help. That's what I'm thinking, right? What do you think? Will you help? You gonna help? You want a brother? Oh, now I don't think he wants one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Worst comes to worst, then we'll have to send him to Titi's house, right? Or Abuela. Abuela will take the dog, right? Oh, okay. Now you're gonna sit with me. All right. So I guess now he's gonna sit with us. Okay. All right. So hey Kim, do you digitize for customers or I always use an outside digitizer? I do not do any type of digitizing. I am a machinist all the way. I do know a little bit, but I am not, I can make adjustments, but I prefer to use a professional digitizer. Hey Miss Miller, how are you? Let's see. Miss Miller said, I just bought the side ball. The side bow, and I'm doing a sweatshirt in eagle green with the football stitches on it and a Chris. Ah, that's gonna look cute. That is gonna look cute. Oh, what did Nancy? Oh, she's stitching. She's doing a crochet. My sister loves to do. She's really good at it too. Oh, very good tip. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the tips. Yeah, Nancy knows how to make some really, really cute things. Nancy needs to open up an Etsy shop. She really does. I've already told her that like several times. I'm gonna keep pushing her and stuff. Um, and Marlene said the current owner, I already did 3 test runs. So far, all going well. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, got another order for 10 makeup bags, 4 beach bags. Friend order from North Carolina. Told you. All right, ching ching. Somebody's gonna make that money. Oh my goodness, somebody's making that money. I've been watching you and Nancy, and I just realized I was not submitting. Just subscribe to your channel. Oh, let's see. Just subscribe to your channel. Yay, Nancy got another subscriber. Let's see. Hey Tina, how you doing? Um, little, it's like making a new recipe the first time your in-laws come for dinner, taking a big chance. Absolutely. Yeah, you do not want when you're using rush orders and stuff, that's not the time to experiment at all. Not at all. Um, let's see. Or your sister could come and visit and you work and then go out to dinner. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, Debbie says, okay. Yes, totally agree, Miss White. Rush fee is reasonable by percentage, yes, and they should be. And everything that I've read, like I said, they usually do it in two forms, right? They do a flat or they do a percentage. I could, I could see a flat if something was really simple to do, right? But the thing is, sometimes, like I was saying before, it could be very complicated. So, I kind of lean more on the percentage, and stuff. And sometimes you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to say there's a 50% up charge or, rush fee or something like that. You could do 10%, 15%. But the thing is, it's 10, 15% of the value of the price of the product. So to me, that's kind of like reasonable too. I think, but there should be a minimum. That is for sure. Um, you know, you're so organized. My soul looks like a bomb went off. It can get like that too, Marsha. I have had moments where this can get a little bombarded as well. But the thing is, I always like to I like to keep everything organized even as I work on orders, right? Like I'll only work on one bulk order at a time because that way I get to utilize all the machines for that order, get it done, then go to the next order. Sometimes I'll be working on several single orders at a time. But I always what really is important to me is to make sure that when I'm using scissors, I put them where they belong because what happens is sometimes when if you just take a piece of a scissor and I'm cutting and I just put it down on the table, I can easily lose my stuff, right? And I find that you lose a lot of time when you lose stuff in your room, right? So if you don't put things where they're supposed to be at a consistent basis, then what happens is, you're losing time because then you're going looking all over the place for that particular scissor or you're looking for the needle threader or something, right? So I always like everything to be organized and stuff. Oh my God, I cannot work in my area. It is not clean and in place. I I don't know. I'm very particular. I really am. I am pretty particular. I even had a girlfriend that she kind of like, we can't work together. I'm neat and she's different. Like I remember we were doing weeding, right? And she was taking the weed, she was weeding, and while she was weeding it, she was just throwing it on the floor. She was actually tossing it over her shoulder. She was weeding, pulling it, and then going like that and tossing it. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like picking it up on the floor, putting it in the garbage. And then she was watching me weed, and I had like a little bag in front of me. And as I weeded, I didn't throw it on the floor. I would put it in the little bag. And I even got one of those nail polish holders, and I would like put the little pieces in there and, to keep everything nice and neat. And she was like, I can't work with you. I was like, I can't work with you because you're like, I was like, you're so sloppy. It's like you put everything in there. And then she couldn't find her scissors. She couldn't find, her the hook that she was using to weave, and she couldn't find the fabric she needed. And I was like, it's because you keep throwing everything. Because she was just doing stuff and she was just throwing it and stuff. And I was like, I can't work like that. And I like things to be neat. And even before I go to bed, I always clean all my machines. I take all the lint out. That way when I get up in the morning, I don't have to brush out the lint, right? All I have to do is just oil my hook and put my bobbin thread in. And I do vacuum. I bought a cordless sharp vac, and I use that for this room. So I vacuum every night because I want to make sure that I got all the threads off the floor and stuff like that. And I make sure the machines are shut off and everything is in its place before I go to bed. That way, when I get up in the morning and I start working on my orders, I'm not walking into a messy workspace, right? I like everything to be neat and order and everything like that. So that way I can just go ahead and start working my orders and everything. I mean, to me, it's important too because it kind of could set a mood for me, because if I walk in and I see that the place is a mess, then it's like, mm, I don't, it's already starts getting me kind of like, ugh, you know, it's kind of like getting up in the morning, like Fred will tell you, him and everybody knows that you don't want Jeanette to wake up early in the morning and find a dish in the sink. I get, I don't know what it is. It can really set my mood for the day because it's like I'll go downstairs and then I get my cup of coffee. And then after I get my coffee, if I turn around and I look at the sink and I see dirty dishes in there, I'm like, the hell? That's what goes through my mind. Like, what the hell? And then I get pissed off and then I put the coffee down and I start cleaning all the dishes and everything. And I'm like, and then they all hear my mouth because I'm like, that's disgusting. That we shouldn't do that because that could bring bugs and da 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 da. And they just hear my mouth the whole morning. So they kind of learned like to keep the peace in the house, right? They're like, make sure you wash those dishes before you go to bed. You can put them in the dry rack or you can put them in the dishwasher, but don't leave them in the sink because if Jeanette gets up, if she gets her coffee and looks down right there, I'm like, what the heck? Who left the dish in the sink? So I can drive everybody crazy. So I know it's a little like Jeanette, it's just a dish in the sink. But to me, it's like, I don't like it. I just don't like it. And I am the type that I like to get up and I like to make my bed and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I think I got that from my mom, honestly, because. And it's really funny because Nancy will tell you when I was young, boy, did I have a messy room. And then when I moved on my own and I had my own space, it was like that space was like spotless, which kind of like pissed off my mom because my mom was like, all that time you lived with us and you had your clothes on the floor and you were messing and everything, and then you go and you move to Virginia, you get your own house, and now everything is spotless. You couldn't be like that when you lived with me. So it's kind of funny. I don't know. It's just and I am very yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm very that's a stickler with me. I don't know. It really is. Um OCD. Yeah, I guess that's me too. As soon as I finish it, I place it and I put it right back in. I do that too. But the thing is, it makes it easier for me because then if I need it again, I know exactly where it is. I'm not searching for it because it can, when you, especially when you're doing applique and all that kind of stuff, you could end up with a mess. You could end up with pieces of fabric all over the place on the floor. You can easily slip, you know, and I'm gonna tell you something, the older you get and you fall, them bones don't heal like they used to when you were young. I tell you that right now. I know. They always say that's the worst thing that you can do when is fall as you get older because you're aging, so you're not your bones don't heal as quickly as a young person and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's like let's see. Let me go through here and see what else. um, let's see. How do you price your rush orders? It depends on the order. Miss Faye, it depends. My prices are not standard at all. Okay, for any of the stuff that I do, unless it is something that I sell on my Etsy shop. I do have standard prices for those particular items, but I know why I price them at that price. But when it comes to my local orders and even rush orders and stuff like that, I do not have a standard price for it because it depends on what it is that people want. Okay. I have a couple of videos on how to price embroidery um, orders. A lot of people have different methods. Okay. Some people use, there's an old way that a lot of people do where they charge by stitch count. I don't do that. When I use the stitch count, it's just so that I can get an idea. But I actually charge by time. Okay, that's the method that I like to charge. So when I look at something that I have to do, I look at the supplies and the time that it takes to get something accomplished, and I have an hourly rate. So I use my hourly rate along with the time and the supplies to calculate my price. As for orders, it depends. What type of rush order it is. Sometimes I don't add a rush order fee, okay? Because remember, some people do it, some people don't. I normally don't. If I add a rush order fee, it's because you're asking for something to be done within like a day, okay? There is like absolutely no leeway. And if I add that fee, it's because I have to actually work this order beyond the time that I actually want to work. Okay. Because I already have my stuff scheduled and I already know that I should have my orders done by 10 o'clock at night and shut off my machines and go to bed. But if you come to me with a rush order and I know that rush order is going to keep me at these machines till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah, there's going to be a rush order for that because that means you're cutting into my sleep time. Okay. And I'm old. I need my sleep time. I need to rest. Okay. So yeah. So usually the price depends on what it is. Okay. I don't have standard prices. It depends on what it is that people this type of service that people need. Um, let's see. Oh, I've done names on nice blankets, but I don't like the stitches on the backs. You can, Marshall, one of the things you can do is you can use cloud cover on the back of those blankets. Okay. You can do that if you want. All right. That's something that I sometimes do. Um, but a lot of my customers really don't care about the back. They just, they just like that the names in the front, you know, and stuff. But cloud cover is something that you can use to cover all of that to make it neater. Um, hey Elizabeth, how you doing? Um, oh, your first happy hour was 4 years. Wow, Miss McFay, I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm over here, and I'm over here telling you guys, I think I've been doing this for 2 years. 4 years ago. Thank you for looking that up. I bet you I probably only had one person watching me. And it was probably Fred. Oh my goodness, 4 years. Oh wow. I didn't know that I've been, yeah, I guess you know what? That kind of makes sense because we're doing the gift exchange. This is the 4th year I'm doing the annual gift exchange. Wow, 4 years. Wow. That's wow. That's that kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't know that I've been doing embroidery happy hour for 4 years. And that, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty proud of that because I'm usually every Friday consistently. I think I have only missed about, I don't even think 5 embroidery happy hours. I missed one when my dad was ill. There was one time that I was sick. think I had the COVID, and I asked Nancy to. I kind of pushed my sister to do an embroidery happy hour. I remember one time I was doing embroidery happy hour. We lost power, and I got in my car and I talked to you guys through my phone. I remember that, and it was dark because I was so determined. I'm so determined to always do my Friday lights because I like this. I really do like this time. I really do. It's I don't know. I feel like I know I'm talking to you guys out there, but I feel like it's my me time, because it's like I get to think out loud and share stuff with people. And it kind of, my job is pretty hectic, right? So it's like my time for me to like really sit here and just relax. I find this relaxing, and just sharing information and stuff. I just love doing this every Friday. So I could see me doing this for another 4, 5, 10 years. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep going. But thank you so much for telling me about that, Miss McVeigh, because I was like, I gotta look that up. Now I'm so curious because this is 4 years. That's a long time. That's a really long time. Hey Iris, all your information. Oh, thanks. I'm so glad you guys really do. I'm really glad you guys do like the information that I share with you guys. I really, I think that's like so awesome. Um, let's see. Love the blanket. Looks great. Oh, that's I guess what I was showing you guys. But yeah, I really like this one. I like this one better than the first one that I tried. I really do. So I think it's the more you practice, the better you get. So I'm pretty excited. Now I just have to figure out how to sew this together with this. I'm actually even thinking about binding it. I've never done binding before. So now it's like I really want to do binding on it because I think it would come out so super cute if I did the binding instead of just sewing them together and then turning it inside out. Yes, I really want to do the binding because I think the binding would really give it that extra pop. And yeah, so I'm excited about this. I really am. It's gonna be funny though if I finish it and it comes out like super nice. I may not want to give it to her. I may want to be like, no, I want to keep it. But no, I gotta give it to Sarah. Gotta give it to her. So, and I want to get it done because I'm gonna see my friend next Saturday because we're actually going to a show to see a play. It's gonna be me, my husband Cardito, and two good friends of ours. Sarah. And it's the first time I'm gonna see her pregnant. So I actually want to make I'm making a gift basket for her. And I'm starting to make baby items and stuff. And that's why I'm looking forward to these days too, because I really want to focus on her basket and I want to give it to her on Saturday when I see her. So I want to do some baby onesies. I did some burp clocks. I want to do baby bibs for her. I'm gonna do this. I want to finish this blanket. I want to do another blanket for her as well because I got some brand new designs. And that comes out really nice. I'm probably gonna put that on my Etsy shop as well. So yeah, because I got a couple of new designs of blankets that I want to do. So I figured take advantage of it and I'll just make some blankets for her. So yeah. So I'm pretty excited about I got so many things I want to get done. So I'm like already thinking after I'm done talking with you guys, I'm gonna go to bed so I can get up early, super early tomorrow, and start um, putting my designs together, and then put them on a USB. And then I'm gonna take Mo to the groomer, and then after the groomer, come home, and then I'm going to start sewing this, and then because I still have to, I know I'm gonna have to go back out because I gotta pick him up. Um, yes, I'm excited. I'm gonna be able to accomplish things and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. Happy Veterans Day for Fred too. Yeah. You know, we're gonna do this. We're gonna end up. I already got a text from my girlfriend. Every year, it's like a tradition for Veterans Day. We always go to our favorite restaurant because the veterans eat for free. So Fred gets a free meal, and her husband gets a free meal, and but me and Frank gotta pay. You know. But that's okay. So we always like doing that. We always end up going to the restaurant and we grab our free meal. So and Fred always orders his steak because that's big stuff. That's the time that the veteran wants to order the most expensive thing on the menu. So yeah. So you so very sure. I did. I did. I actually got better. And I think, Rita, what happened was when I sewed it, I did it at night where, I didn't feel rushed or anything like that. I was kind of like in a really good, calm space, right? So I was able to like really just focus and just enjoy the whole process. And that I've kind of figured out that when you are in your zone, when you get in that sewing zone, it's like everything seems to like really go well. It's like I really had fun with it. I really did. I was like, I could see why my sister gets into that. And then when you're finished, you're like, oh, it's like fun. I really liked it. Um, let's see. Um, Proud of you. Your straight lines. You can do it. I did. I did. Um, I'm pretty proud of myself too, because I'm like usually my sewing skills, like you know. Hey, baby giant, how you doing? Hey, Kim, how are you? How you doing? Hey, Joyce Adams, how are you? Let's see. Hey, Veronica, how are you? Hey, Jenny, your knowledge and report is very valuable. I hate to admit that I'm still in the works to even try to get a side hustle, trying to decide on a business name. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, Jenny, sometimes the business name itself is hard to figure out, right? Because even like I have the name Unique Designs for You. Honestly, I'm like, you have no idea how many times I go, Unique Designs for You. Should I change that name? Should I make it a little shorter, a little more spazzy, something? But I said, you know what? It is what it is. That's what I chose. That's what I stay with. Okay. It's gonna take time to do the business. That is for sure. It doesn't happen overnight. It really doesn't. It's very very few people does it happen overnight. Okay. So but to me, Jenny, what I say is just enjoy the process. Take your time. Don't rush. Do your thing. Do you. Okay. And you'll come up with a name. You'll come up with a name eventually. And just make sure you're happy with it. You know what I mean? And names can change. You can always change it. You know, I thought about changing mine, but the thing is, it could be a hassle to change it because then I could, I got to change the LLC and my accounts and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I'll leave it. It's fine. It's just fine, and stuff. But it'll get there, and you'll be fine. I did a tour using the Christmas design and kitchen towels. We gotta watch that. Help the yes, please, guys. If you guys do like the content and everything, and you're enjoying the stuff that I'm putting out, please do give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Marlene. Really, because that does help. That really does help. I purchased some bold designs, forgot to check. Oh, which I pay monthly. Oh, Jenny. Oh, but that's okay. I mean, look, I've done it. There have been lots of times when I have forgotten myself to look at it. But just because you purchase some bold designs, still, Jenny, go out to Creative Fabrica. Pull those bold designs too. Okay, because remember, not all bows look the same. So they probably got some designs on Creative Fabrica that, I mean, they're free. So just grab it and stuff, and you never know, you know. And this is another idea that I got too, is that, those bow designs, you could easily just even use those on the blankets. It just popped in my head, you know. Instead of doing it on the end of a shirt, do it on a baby blanket. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to try one on a baby blanket this weekend. That would be fun to do. So I'm going to give that a shot. And so a Christmas baby blanket. There you go. Let's see. Hey, Eleanor, how you doing? Oh, Marlene says, I always go to Creative Fabrica first before Embroidery and other sites. Now, the one thing though I do notice with Creative Fabrica is sometimes you do have to test stitch some of those designs, okay? Because I have noticed, I mean, I've gotten some really good designs off of them. I don't want to say that their designs are no good. I'm not saying that. But there have been times when I have gotten a couple of designs from them, and it's like I feel like they had like jump stitches that I felt that they could have, got rid of. But yeah, so I mean, but they are pretty good, I mean, I kind of like them. I'll check out that video. Yep. Let's see. Go on dinner napkins. I don't think so. But I don't want to say no, Jenny, because we could try it. I'll try it. I can try it. I got plenty of dinner napkins and stuff. And it might, in the corner. Now, I could see it more on a blanket than a dinner napkin. The problem with the dinner napkins, Jenny, this is what I see, is dinner napkins are usually the size of 18 by 18 or 20 by 20, right? The biggest one's 20. But sometimes dinner napkin can be small, like 15 by 15, right? So it depends on the size of the bow, that you have, right? It just depends, right? So I'll you know what? I'm gonna put that down because it could be bow on dinner napkin. That would be something nice to see, because I agree with you. That would look really cute. So let's see if it comes out really cute. I think it would. But you gotta make sure you have the right size bow. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about, is the size of the bow and stuff. And the other thing too that kind of concerns me too is, I notice a lot of people with those bows, they're putting a lot of the glitter vinyl, right? You don't want to use that on a dinner napkin, because remember, people are eating. They're going to be using these dinner napkins to wipe their face. You don't want them wiping their face and they got glitter all over their face. Glitter and food is not going to mix. So it would have to be a bow that's applique, but you actually use fabric on that. So that's what I would recommend. But I do have an idea, because I do have some fabric that could go well with it. So I'm gonna give it a shot. The other thing with using the bow though on the dinner napkin is it can be very time consuming to make. Okay. Dinner napkins, they usually you sell them in sets, right? You're selling them in sets of 2, 4, 6, 8, even 12. And sometimes you can end up having an order for 24 napkins. Okay, I've gotten those, where sometimes they have like a big dinner party and they want to have these dinner napkins. Those bow appliques take a long time to do. Applique is time consuming, because remember, you got your placement stitch, you got your knockdown stitch. Okay, after you do your knockdown stitch, you got to cut your fabric. And then after you cut your fabric, then you have your final stitch, which is the satin stitch, right? That, for one dinner napkin, that's going to take a long time to do. Okay, so a lot of times what I do with my dinner napkins, I just use straight embroidery, because I stick it in the machine, let the machine do all the embroidery, stick it back out, put another one in the machine, let it do, and then just keep the running process. By doing the bow on on the dinner napkin, what ends up happening is you got a whole process going on over here. So that means for every single dinner napkin, okay, because let's think about this. And this is something that I'm glad you asked that, because think while we're talking about this, think about how you would price something like that, right? Because let's say somebody came to you and said, "Hey Jenny, I want you to make 12 dinner napkins for me, and I want you to put that bow design on that." How would you price that? Okay, let's think about it. That dinner, every dinner napkin is going to have to come out of that machine twice. All right. You got your placement stitch, you got your knockdown stitch, then you got to put it back in the machine for the satin stitch. Then it's done, right? That takes time to do. Now, because you have your it's an applique, you don't just have to purchase the dinner napkin. You now have to buy the fabric to do the applique with. Okay. With the fabric, you also have to buy the heat and light bond. All right, because you're gonna want to iron that after you're done embroidering, because you don't want the fabric to come out or anything like that if it didn't get stitched down right. You know what I mean? So that's gonna take time. All right, so that means you got to do that 12 times. That's a long time to make dinner napkins. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if I would sell that, because the way I would price it, it would probably be a little pricey. Okay, so if I was to do that, it would probably be something that I make as a gift for a friend that I like a lot, a friend that I really like a lot. Okay, because that's going to take a long time to make. Okay, so just think about that, you know. Um, or I would do it for myself, or I'm going to have a nice dinner party and stuff like that, and I wanted to do something like that. Usually if I had a dinner party, okay, and I've done this in the past, okay, when I have people come for dinner, sometimes we'll invite another couple or something like that, and they come over for dinner, and I embroider dinner napkins. Usually when I do the embroidery of the dinner napkins, I usually will put the guest initials on the dinner napkin. So everyone, when they come to the table, dinner napkins kind of serve like place settings. And it's really, really nice because people see that and they see their initials on the dinner napkin or their name on the dinner napkin. Sometimes I'll put the name on the side, and they really love that. And then I tell them it's a napkin for them to take home, a little memoir, of our nice evening together. So there's so many things you can do. There really is, to make it special. So if I was to even do that with the bow, with the dinner napkin, I wouldn't just do the bow. I would also add the initial of the person on the dinner napkin, and that would be some like a nice little keepsake, so they could remember our Christmas dinner or something like that. That's what I would do. Just little ideas, and stuff. Look like everybody's saying hello to Mello, the superstar. Nancy's a gadget girl. Oh my goodness. He wants a brother. He's saying yes. You want a brother, Mello? He doesn't want a brother. See, right now he is knocked out. Oh, he looked this way. When I said brother, he looked. I think he might. I don't know. We'll see what we'll do. It's just an idea that I'm toying with. Because I think it would be nice to have two. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I need to try it out this weekend. I was going to add it to a sleeve on my t-shirt, but the test out design was a little bit too large, and I thought that it would be. Yeah, and see, and that's the thing. The bows can sometimes be so big, and for a dinner napkin, see, if you're saying that it's too big for a sleeve of a t-shirt, I can only imagine it's probably going to be too big for a dinner napkin. That's what I'm thinking. If you do it for a dinner napkin, you're going to want something that's the right size. You not something that's really huge and stuff. Maybe you could shrink it down. I don't know. Hey, Laura, sí, yo hablo el español. ¿Cómo está? Um, let's see. Anyone have those seersuckers makeup bags to want to sell? Let me tell you something, Miss Miller. Check Timo. They have them. They have them. They have them. I looked and I saw, and I was like, oh. So yeah, those makeup bags. Check Timo. Check them. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna order some myself because I just want to see and stuff. You know, you know, you could also order them from Alibaba, okay? But the thing is, like I said, you know, Alibaba, you gotta wait because they're coming from overseas, so you do have to wait like a month or two for it to come in. So you're not gonna get them right away. But with Timo, you know, it's still from China, but the thing is they do get it to you a little sooner, okay? But they may not be as cheap maybe as Alibaba, but check them out. But look it up. Timo, you can get them because I saw them there. Hey Borgie, how you doing? I was asked to embroider 27 days on work aprons for a coffee shop where my daughter works. 24-hour turnaround. My first job, my first paying job, $60, but I forgot about the expensive stabilizer. $60 for 27 aprons, Margie. That's, I'm taking out my calculator. Oh, okay. That's all right. So that means that you charged, and that's if I'm reading your thing correctly. Okay, that means that for each apron you charge $2.22 for your work. How long did it take you to do those aprons? You know what I mean? So that's think about that. Okay, think about, and I'm happy that you're happy, but I don't want you to sell yourself short. That's the only thing, Margie. That's the only thing. Know your worth, okay? Know your worth because um, you know, just so you know, my minimum price to embroider an item is $15 minimum. Okay, so you're talking about 27 aprons, and if they were the names, and then and it was just one color and all that kind of stuff, and then um, yeah, it would have been $405 that I would have charged. 15 bucks an apron and stuff, but it's your first paid job though. But it's a job, okay, and that was your first job, okay, and that job is going to lead you to a second job, third and a fourth and whatever, right? So you got to start somewhere. All right. So do your thing. Do your thing. But in the future, though, Marge, don't sell yourself short. Okay. It's your first job. So you got to get your name out there. Right. And to be honest, I mean, this is how I would look at it. Okay. Your first job, you want to get your name out there. You want people to see your work, the quality of your work. And think about it. That business owner, you did all the aprons, you put all the names. If they came out great, believe me, now you got somebody that you can use as a reference. Okay. So what I would do is I would give that business owner your card. Okay. And I would say, hey, you know, if anyone asks about my embroidery, I hope you can help, you know, spread the word. But on your next order, okay, think more about the pricing and how you're pricing your stuff. I hope, you know, I mean, because you don't want to sell yourself short. Embroidery is a lot of work, okay? So you got to think about your threads, okay, your supplies. You know, like you said, okay, You forgot about the stick, the the stabilizer, right? It's expensive, okay? And you're talking about 27 individual items that you are hooping individually. It takes time, okay? So just I want you to think about that, okay? Your time means money, and you want to make sure that you're getting what you're worth, all right? And stuff. So, but I'm proud of you though. You got a job. That's pretty cool. That is awesome. Let's see. I don't leave my shop until everything is clean. So otherwise, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Yeah, I mean, I feel that having things organized really does help in order for you to do things better. Oh, me encanta. Okay, yo hablo el español, pero a leerlo yo no sé. Mi hermana sabe leer mejor. Me encanta están ganando. Yo no entiendo, yo no entiendo al 100%. Me encanta están, me encanta esta canal. Acún yo no entiendo 100%. Okay, I think you said you like the channel, even though you don't understand everything 100%. Eso está bien, no te apures. Está bien. You know, I blame my mother. I'm gonna blame my mother because mami yo aprendí el español con mami, pero ella no me enseñó cómo leer. Mira qué cosa. Yo le echo la culpa a mami. Right, Nancy? We're gonna blame mom. She taught me how to speak Spanish, but she sure didn't teach us how to read or write. I think Nancy knows how to read or write it though. You know, I flunked Spanish. And I'm gonna tell you, it's yeah, you believe it. I speak Spanish and I flunked it because see, we're Puerto Ricans, right? So Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, people from Honduras, all these Spanish speaking countries, we all have our own way of speaking, right? We use different words for different things. So when I went to high school, I figured I'm going to take Spanish and it's going to be so easy and stuff like that. Well, they teach you they say the proper way to speak Spanish, right? So whenever I was taking my test, I would answer it the way I would talk at home, right? So like one simple thing was television, right? In Spanish they say pantalla. Pantalla to Puerto Ricans, to us, pantalla means earrings. But to the high school, pantalla meant television. And I'm like, pantalla is not television. To a Puerto Rican, it's televisión. That's what we call it, televisión. So when I took the test, I put televisión. So next thing you know, what the teacher said, wrong, wrong, wrong. So I was like, you know, it's like the heck. So I failed. Failed. So I was like, maybe I need to learn French because it's like, oh my God. So yeah, but there's different dialects of Spanish, but there's different dialects of French too. Because my brother-in-law is, he speaks no, I think he speaks Creole, but I think Creole is a dialect of French, or a type of slang of French, I guess. I don't, you know. But it's just so funny because it's like, but yeah, so loaded. I'm gonna blame mommy, okay, because she didn't teach me how to read or write Spanish. um, hey Marge. Yeah, so Marge got her first order. Go girl. Ching 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 ching. But don't Don't price too low. I'm telling you, don't price too low because it's a lot of work. So make sure you get paid for it. That's the only thing. Um, Jeanette, it's called been raised by a Puerto Rican mom. I'm the same way with the dishes. I know. Okay, so see, all right. So it is maybe it's a Puerto Rican thing. I don't know. It does. It pisses me off. It's like you get up in the morning, I'm making my coffee and then I turn around and I look down and it's like, I don't know if you guys know about, Spanish soap operas, we call them novelas, whenever something bad happens, it's like you hear the song, da-da-da-da, like, da-da-da-da, and that's what happens, right? It's like I'll be in the kitchen and I'm all happy and everything. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a new day, whatever. And then I look down the dishes, I look down the sink and I see the dirty dish and I'm like, da-da-da-da, and I'm like, who put this here? And then next thing you know, I'm taking the sponge and I'm washing the dishes and I'm like putting it away. And then I'm going around the house because I want to know who left that dirty dish. Was it Fred? Was it Carlito? Who left it? Because I know it wasn't Mello because Mello knows how to clean his dish. Boy, he licks that thing till it's dry. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, but I said, I love a neat space. I need to organize my scraps because, yeah, and you know what I do when my scraps march is I'll get like a box and then I'll just put all my scraps in there and stuff, because I am very particular too. I don't like to waste, okay, like battings, fabric scraps. I don't like to waste anything. So, but what I'll do is I'll get like some boxes and stuff, and I like to keep everything nice and neat. The only problem that I don't like about the boxes is sometimes you forget what the heck you have in there. Okay. And then when you open the box, it's like discovering, like, oh, I didn't know I had this fabric, That's the only thing. Hey, Letty Fair, what embroidery machines do you use? I have Brother. I like Brother. I've always used them. Don't have any issues. Those are my preference. There's a lot of different machines out there, different brands. Every machine has its own different types of functionality and stuff like that. So, I'm not when people ask me what machine I should get, I don't like to answer that. I always say get what is going to meet your needs. Okay. I do also, Lady Fair, I do have some videos out there where I do talk about purchasing an embroidery machine. Because I don't know why you're asking the question, but just in case if that's why you're asking, okay. Because my thing is I just want to make sure that people make an informed decision whenever they're purchasing a machine for themselves. Because what happens is these machines are very expensive, okay? Whether you're going for, whatever brand, okay? They can be very, very, very pricey. So I prefer to give you guys things that you need to think about when you are looking at the different brand machines and evaluating them, because I want folks, to me, there's no right or wrong machine. Everybody learns different. Everybody has different needs, and different wants when it comes to getting a machine. My thing that's important to me is to make sure that when people are investing their money into a particular machine, whatever brand it is, that they're investing their money in a machine that is going to really meet their needs. Okay. And it's something that they're going to be able to be happy with. Okay. All machines are different. They each have their own specialty, their own functionality. You just have to really do your research and look at each of them individually and ask yourself those questions that, if you watch the video, there's a lot of questions that I pose to you and say, what's the functionality? Look at the price, look at your budget. What is it that you're using that machine for? What do you think you're going to be using that machine for in the future as well? Because that's another thing too. You want a machine that's going to grow with you. And if you don't think about some of those things, you don't want to have buyer's remorse. So there's a lot of things that you need to consider when you are looking to buy a machine. I've done about like 2 videos on that on the channel. If you look at, I think if you go to my channel, you do search on embroidery machines, buying an embroidery machine, something like that, you'll see the videos pop up and stuff, because my whole thing is I just want to make sure that people make really good, strong choices when they decide to purchase an embroidery machine. That's what I kind of focus on. I'm not really I don't like pushing brands or anything like that when it comes to these machines, because they cost so much. And I just want people to make the best decision for themselves. Kind of do the same thing with like the software, even though I am affiliated with Embrilliance. But one of the things that I do tell people is go through, there's Brilliance, there's So What Pro, there's a lot of different embroidery software out there. And I always say, if you can get your hands on a free version, I say try it, use it for a little bit and see if you like it, because embroidery software can be easy or difficult. Everybody's learning curve is different, so you just always want to make sure that you're getting the right software that's you're going to feel comfortable working with. Okay, so anyway, I hope I didn't give you a mouthful. Let's see. Did you win some? Yep, she did. Margie did once win something. She got her first order. That's a big thing. That really is. Let's see. Oh, Rita says, I remember that night you were in your car. Yeah, yeah, that was big. Shows are great to go to and watch. My husband and I went to a show one year and we sat Saturday. It's fun getting dressed up. Well, I'm not gonna get too dressed up. I'm not a dress up type of girl. Even though my sister will tell you that wasn't Jeanette back in the day. I remember when I first started work, I always wore a suit every day. People are not dressing up in suits anymore in the office. It's always business casual and stuff. I remember I used to have my Casper suits. I used to wear my heels, dressed to the nines. But those days are kind of like gone. They really are and stuff. But now it's like it's just gonna be, nice pair of black slacks and a nice shirt, and I'm good to go. I like to dress comfortable and stuff. But I remember those days when people used to really dress up and stuff. But then what ends up happening is when you dress up, you go somewhere, you feel overdressed. Because then when you look around, everybody's just wearing like, business casual. And then you get the questions. Like I remember once I decided at work, I said, you know what? I'm in the mood to wear a suit. I want to wear a suit. I want to dress up like I used to, right? So I had my hair down, I put makeup on, I dressed up in a suit, had my little heels. All day when I was at work, everybody kept asking me, did you have an interview today? I'm like, I didn't have an interview today. No, I didn't have an interview today. I just wanted to dress up in a suit. I was like, aren't we supposed to dress up in suits? There was a time we used to dress up in suits. So ever since that, I was like, you know what? It was like, did you have an interview? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Who died? Nobody died. I just wanted to dress up. So it was kind of funny, It's like I got home. My friend was like, what's wrong? I said, it's not fun dressing up anymore. It really isn't. So it was like, oh, so it's kind of funny. But anyway, um, it hurts when you get older. Yeah, I know. Yep, I know. We don't heal like we used to. We really don't. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm not using a bow design. The one I am using on the towels are a Christmas tree design and a candy cane design. Ah, okay. Holidays are coming, boy. Holidays are coming. Let's see. Oh, Jeanette, thank you for the great advice on the dinner napkins. Oh, you're welcome. I went ahead and did a um, personalized family monogram with me and the hubby's initials, made in somewhere similar to the Lord of the Rings. I know that had to come out beautiful. I know that had to come out beautiful. And Rita, yes, I buy, but I only want one or two. You could buy one or two from Timo, Rita. You could get those makeup bags, just one or two. Now I don't know how much they would be. They don't sell them by the pack. I mean, they do one or two though, but I would check. I would check it out. Ooh, gotta. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Ooh, had a sneeze here. I ordered some dinner napkins. Thought I got linen, but I got poly blend. Have to wait on linen to come in. But if I'm doing this, I want full linen. Yeah, and it depends on people. Some people like the linen, some people like the other ones. So yeah. So so I blame my mom too for not learning Spanish. No, I mean she taught us how to talk it. Me and Nancy know, and Nancy I think speaks more better the Spanish than I do. I don't have anybody to practice with. I really don't. My husband doesn't speak Spanish. Carlito doesn't speak Spanish. None of my friends around here speak Spanish. God, I mean, do I have any Spanish friends? I wish I did. I wish I had more. Like, I just don't. I hung out with GLC Crafts um last year, and let me tell you, I loved it because I got to speak Spanish with her and her husband, and I was like, oh man, I love it. I love speaking my language. But when I'm at home, I don't have nobody to talk to. Now I will say I love watching Spanish movies, and I also do like listening to Spanish music. But I just don't have anybody to talk to in Spanish. So it's like it sucks. It really does. Um she loves the channel, but doesn't understand 100%. Aw, I'm glad she likes the channel though. One of these days I'm gonna have to do a video in Spanish because I do have a lot of people that ask for that. But my thing is, I'm kind of like, okay, I could do it in Spanish, but then there's only so many people that do it. But Liliana does her videos all in Spanish, which is one of the reasons why I like watching her is because I feel like I'm watching someone talking to me in Spanish. So I kind of like that. So I don't know. Let's see. My children also blame me for not speaking Spanish. Oh my God. She's American but speaks it fluently, but she never practiced it with her kids so she can understand it but can't read or write it. Yeah, I mean, and yep, and I could read a little bit, but it takes time for me to figure it out and stuff. So um let's see. Jenny, I hate to admit I'm fluent in speaking and writing Spanish, but it's because it was hard for me to learn English, and I didn't teach my son Spanish that much. Just a bit. He ended up taking German. You know what's so funny though, Jenny? Because Carlito did not learn Spanish from me, right? When he ended up taking Spanish in high school, he passed with flying colors. And then he was like, I don't know why you didn't teach me Spanish. And I'm like, because you would have flunked Spanish if I taught you Spanish. I said, we don't speak the Spanish they teach in the schools. I speak Puerto Rican Spanish, okay? I don't know if it's slang Spanish or what, but I know one thing. When I go to Puerto Rico and I say, hey, televisión, everybody knows I mean TV. They're not saying, oh, I'm not gonna say, hey, la pantalla. They're gonna be like, what? You want earrings? It's like, you know, I don't know, the Spanish is different. Okay, so it's like, so I'm kind of glad in a way that I didn't teach Cardinal the Spanish because he got to pass Spanish in high school. If I had taught him, he would have failed like I did. And it's funny too, because then people would ask me, go, how the hell could you fail Spanish? Aren't you Spanish? People always ask me that. They'll go, I thought you were Spanish. And you failed Spanish? I'm like, yeah, I failed Spanish because I would answer the questions like I would talking at home. That's what I was doing. And then later on, that's when I really learned the hard way that the Spanish that I speak isn't really the words are different, right? And this is another difference also, like with Spanish. It's like I had a girlfriend and she was from Honduras, right? And we use the words ahora and ahorita differently, right? Ahora for Puerto Rican, for me, okay? Ahora means now. Now, this instant, right now. Ahora. Ahorita means later, okay? Later on. Well, my girlfriend from Honduras, she calls me up and she goes, vámonos para el mall, para la tienda. Yo quiero ir a la tienda. Let's go to the stores, right? I go, okay. She goes, ¿tú quieres ir a la tienda? Of course I want to go to the store. Okay, vámonos ahora. Okay. So I'm over here thinking, we're going now. So you know what I do? I get dressed. I get in my car. Okay. I drive all the way to Manassas Mall. And I'm standing there in front of J.C. Penney. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm like, where the hell is Dania? Where is she? So I'm like looking at my clock. And I'm like, all right. So she's running a little late, right? She doesn't live that far from me, at that time, And then a half hour passed, 40 minutes passed. And I'm like, what the heck? So I pick up the phone. I'm like, where are you? And I'm like, she's like, what do you mean? I said, you said you were going to the mall. You said, ahora. She goes, yeah, later. Like, what the heck? I'm like, so here I am at the mall because she thought, later for them, meant ahora. It's opposite. It's the opposite words, right? So when she told me ahora, I'm thinking now, but for her, that meant later. So I'm sitting in the off. So, lesson learned, okay? And I will tell you, moving forward from that time on, you know what I did? Every time she said, hey, you want to go somewhere? I said, yeah, what time are we going to meet? I would be like, 4 o'clock? We're going to, a las 4? Las 4 de la tarde? That's when, okay, I'll see you there. I was not going to do this ahora and ahorita crap anymore with her because I always felt like I got stood up. I was like, what the heck? So yeah, so I was like, nope, I'm done. I was like, not doing that no more. I was like, that's crazy. So, and it is different. It's very, very, very different, and then the way we speak sometimes is a little different. Puerto Ricans, we're quick. We are quick. We got something to say. We direct. We say, bang. That's it. You know what we said. Denia from Honduras, when she would talk to me, she would be like, ay, yo creo que mañana yo quiero ir a la tienda y después. And I would be like, it's like she sung it's like very slow speaking, right? Puerto Ricans, slow. What is slow? We don't know slow, okay? You would say, hey, Jeanette, what are you doing tomorrow? Where at the I'm going to the store. That's it. Direct, to the point. And we say it quick, okay? We waste no time. But with some others, it's like, oh, I'm going to go to the store tomorrow. By the time you finish that sentence, I fell asleep. I was like, oh my God. So I'll tell you what, it was kind of hard being her friend. Sometimes I was like, can you just talk to me in English? Because it was like, woo. But yeah, Puerto Ricans were quick. They Puerto Ricans, Cubans, hard for me to understand because they are so fast. We are. We just blurt it out real quick, real quick. Because there's nothing to think about. There's nothing to think about. It's like, what does my mom say? She says they sing. That's what she said. She said they sing the language. Es como cantando, it's like they're very like soft spoken, or they're very calm in saying things and stuff. Puerto Ricans, we're not calm. We say it. It's there. That's it. It's like, where you going tomorrow? Where I can go to the store. That's it. As for someone else, they'll be like, oh, mañana yo creo que yo voy a ir a la tienda. They say real slow. And I'm like, oh man, I could have went to the store and back by the time we finish that sentence. It's like we're quick. We are very, very, very quick. And we are loud. We are loud. Puerto Ricans are very loud, and we love our family, we love our food, we love our music, we love our dominoes, and we love our Bacardi and our Coke. That is true. We really do. So I mean, it's funny. Yeah, but anyway, we spoke as we were kids. The nuns used to get so angry because they didn't know what we were saying. Puerto Ricans are fire. We are. We are. We're always so quick. Puerto Rican sound. They sound like one. Oh my God. I'm not yelling, Puerto Rican. Yeah, we are. We're loud. And it's kind of funny too, because it's like, I remember too when we were looking to get the house built and stuff. I remember now you could get an intercom in your house. If some builders, they offer that. They're like, do you want an intercom? And I'm like, intercom for what? And they were like, well, it's like you press a button and you could call people from upstairs and stuff. I'm like, get out of here. Puerto Ricans don't use the intercom. Shoot, I'd be like, Galito. That's it. That's my intercom. Okay. I just scream it out. Fred, Carlito, the food is ready. And that's it. I don't need to go walk up to no box and press a button and go, Carlito, the food's ready. We don't do it like that. We don't do it like that. I thought that was really funny, when the guy came out and said, oh, we have an intercom. I'm like, nah, I ain't spending money on that. Nope. I'll upgrade my kitchen cabinets. That'll do, but I ain't doing that. I don't need an intercom. We have a natural intercom, okay? That's how this family rolls. I know about Puerto Ricans. My belated mother-in-law was one. Sometimes I can't understand my he's half Puerto Rican, half Mexican. Bendito. Oh my God. That's funny. Well, guys, it is 10:30. It is 10:30, and I am going to call it the night and stuff. I hope you guys did enjoy tonight's topic and everything. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, seriously, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I am trying to see if I can hit the 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Not sure if I'll get there, but hey, if I do, great. If not, I know I'll eventually get there. It's okay. But it was a goal that I was trying to meet this year. But that's really kind of like my fault, because I kind of got a little bit sidetracked and I wasn't able to put out more videos than I had wanted to. And that's the whole other reason why I am really glad about these next couple of days that I have. So that way I can kind of like put, videotape some more videos and stuff like that and put stuff out there. I want to try to put some Christmas idea videos out there. Last year, I did the 12 days of Christmas. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that this year, honestly, because I don't think I have the time. But I'm going to try. I'm at least going to put at least some out there. So that way, you guys have some gift ideas for you guys to do, to embroider for your family and your friends this year. So I may not be able to have 12, but I'm going to put some out there. So don't worry. So guys, hope you guys have a great weekend. And for all you veterans out there, Have a great Veterans Day on Monday. You guys take care, and I will see you guys next Friday. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.